Yeah, that's where we are.
Oh, oh, that fucking slaps, man. Holy shit.
My brother, a guy called Jacob, commented on one of my videos and said I should try using a real instrument to make some music, and that would be the test of my musical power. Jacob and a couple of guys that he knows throughout lockdown have started making a band. They've been sharing sort of like audio snippets of each other of, you know, guitar riffs and bass and so on. And Jacob actually sent me one of these, so I've remixed it on his behalf, really just to give the band a bit of guidance with, you know, my musical expertise. You know, just to kind of give them a little nudge in the right direction. The actual sample for the bass that Jacob sent me sounds like this. What I've turned that into sounds like this.
Everybody say hey, everybody say ho. Everybody say hey, everybody say ho. Everybody say hey, everybody say ho. Everybody say hey, everybody say.
So pretty much turned it into a rock song, or maybe like a blues rock, or something like that. I don't really know the genres outside of EDM. So later on in the video, when we play through the whole song, I actually FaceTimed him and recorded it so that so the first time that he heard it, I could actually film his reaction, because he had absolutely no idea that I was making this. So I wanted to film his reaction and to see what he thought. I didn't realise I only had like 11% on my battery, so at one point it cuts out, but you know, luckily we were talking through Discord, so you can still hear what he has to say. So yeah, this was a lot of fun that I had making this. It really didn't take that long, because the sample that he sent had loads of like great variation in there. So it meant that when I went in and started like processing it, it just sounded great. Like I literally just layered stuff on top of each other, and it just sounded awesome. So it's a lot of fun making this. So let's jump into the making of this video, and then we'll do the reaction at the end. Okay, so what we have is this sort of long bass line that my brother's recorded. So it sounds a bit like. So what I'm doing is I'm just going through and choosing some bits so that we can make the song out of it. And now I've had to. He played it with a metronome, so you can hear that click, which is not amazing. So all I've done is I've just removed that click by cutting out all the high end and then adding some erosion back in, just to get it more, give that high end back, but post process, and added some saturation. Now it sounds like this. But if I put that up an octave, and then in audio effect, what is it? Here we go. Amp simulation. Basic lead guitar amp. Let's see what this makes it sound like. And I think because he sent it with a metronome, I don't even know what the bloody key signature is. Actually, let's find that out now. So what scale is this? So it's in A something. It's probably like A minor. A minor, nice. Right. There's been a lot of Jakes recently. My baby brother's called Jacob, so had like the Jake Paul and now the Jacob Simpson, who is a much cooler guy than Jake Paul, I must say. Right, so we just want some like nice rocky sort of drums. So we sort of wanted to follow the beat of, so like da da. Okay, so what we're doing at the moment is we're really just kind of playing around with some ideas to see if something sticks. So like, for example, what would it sound like with vocals?
Everybody say hey. Everybody say ho. Everybody say ho. Everybody say hey. Everybody say ho.
Right, we need to give this a bit more beef. What does it sound like at 24? What a crazy thought.
Everybody say hey. Everybody say ho. Everybody say hey. Everybody say ho.
I mean, is there any genre that I can't master? At this point, it feels like there is no genre that I can't do. And you guys are lucky to be subscribed to this channel. I mean, those who aren't subscribed really need to, you know, subscribe. Even tighter than that, I think. Sounds a bit like Django. I do think it's important that when you're thinking, because I play drums, well, I used to play drums. I could probably still play them if I, you know, picked up the sticks. But something that I've always like really consciously thought of is you got two legs and you got two arms, right? In most cases, when you're putting together, like for example, this drum beat. What makes it sound more convincing is not having like a hi-hat and a ride cymbal and toms going off at the same time and then shakers and china cymbals and all that kind of thing. Because if you're like Neil Peart or, you know, another drummer, there's only so much you can actually do at any one time. So if you want to make convincing drum beats on I would argue on any genre actually, is to try and think like, well, if the hi-hat is playing here and the snare is then playing, it's very difficult for you to play three drums, excluding the kick drum, at the same time, as in hitting the note or hitting the drum at the same time, because you physically don't have enough arms. Now, of course, some bands like Slipknot they've got Joey Jordison, I think his name is, as the drummer, and then they've got you know, a couple of fellas hanging out at the back, and they're, you know, hitting bins and you know, just having a great time. Which means that you're adding more percussive elements, which is fine. But I think for this sort of song, what I'm trying to imagine is Jacob is on the bass, and then you've got two guitarists. So one of them playing kind of the riff, and the other guy playing the lead. And then you got Ed, who, you know, suggested a video a couple of weeks ago because he's also in the band. He's playing drums. So I'm just trying to imagine that there's like four guys playing this, and maybe they've got like a backing choir, and one of them's doing the singing. But what I'm trying to say is, don't overcomplicate the drums. That's the point I'm trying to make. A very long-winded point. So what's this? I wonder what happens if we do this. So you know you sent that bass thing. So this is what you sent. So what I've done is I've taken that. Do you want me to just play you the whole thing?
Well, do it however you feel is best.
Where we are is here. Yeah, that's where we are.
Oh, oh, that fucking slaps, man. Holy shit.
So what we've got for your bit, so this is, I'm not gonna lie, that metronome fucked me up for so long, because you can
Oh, bro, you should have asked. I could have sent you the fucking raw file.
no, because I wanted to surprise you. So without all of the effects, it sounds like this. But what I did is I cut out all of the high end so that that metronome doesn't come through. Then added in more high end with erosion, and this is essentially a distortion plugin, and then just compressed it a little bit, so it's got a bit more like fuzz at the top. And then what I did is I took this, I basically cut out some of the other bits, and then pitched them up and added like a shitload of effects here. So we got this. And then we got the same thing, but this is only pitched up 12 semitones. So altogether that sounds like this. But what I did is I chose a different part of the bass line here. So you got this other one, which is this.
Yeah, that was a chorus.
Yeah, when I was listening to it, I was like, that has to be the chorus. And then just to kind of like fatten it up a little bit, I added in these guys, which is basically a guitar, like a synth, and then I'm pretty sure I put on, again, just a shitload of effects. And the drums.
That was a nice fucking drum beat.
I had Ed in mind when I was doing it. Like what would he be doing?
I'm so impressed with that. It's fucking amazing. It sounds fucking incredible.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
The house down, rock and or roll. So yeah, that's pretty. Mate, I've made that in like an hour and a half.
That's insane.
Is there any genre I can't do? Like, you challenge me to use instruments.
I mean, I'm waiting on my Russian hard bass.
Yeah, well, mate, you'll be waiting a while.